Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Pestily Unmasked video. I haven't posted in a while. I have an actual full list of videos I want to make for you guys, but at the moment I am just chock-a-block with trying to get out all the Tarkov gaming content I've been trying to do, and I'm trying to get out there and do the fishing content that I'm trying to film so I can work on that channel as well. In this video, I know you guys have been asking for this since I set up my computer again recently on Instagram. I'm going to go over my entire computer setup. That's from the desk, the monitors, to everything that you can see on my desk pretty much, and go from there. And I'll talk about all the pros and cons of each item if I think it's worth buying. It's probably going to be a bit longer video than my usual kind of setup tours I've done in the past. Usually they're maybe 5 to 10 minutes long. This one might be slightly longer because I want to explain if I think you should buy these parts, if they're good, and all that kind of stuff. So guys, without further ado, let's crack straight into it. Now, starting with my desk, I have a sit stand desk. This is a 2 meter by 1 meter desk. It's actually quite large, and it goes really high up. I think it's about, I don't know, like 1.6 meters up it goes. So I'm like this if I wanted to have it at full height. I can't stress enough, if you are working from home or using a lot of your time in front of a computer, a sit stand desk can actually be wonders. It just helps me, particularly when I'm doing my longer days in front of the computer. I can stand up and just still get work done whilst being able to be at the desk. This is a very strong, heavy duty one. It wasn't cheap. I think I bought it for about 500 to 600 euros in Europe, in the Netherlands. And it's very high quality. It looks really professional and sleek. But yeah, it's not cheap. Some of the sit stand desks it can get are cheaper, and depending on your need. But I needed a really large desk because I currently have 6 monitors on it at the moment, and it needs to be strong enough to be able to lift it all. So sit stand desk, really good, high quality one from the Netherlands. I would definitely recommend getting one if you spend a very large amount of time in front of the computer. My mum actually, she worked in like an office job, and she had a stand desk, just a straight stand desk. If you're going to do that though, put a mat on the ground, like a rubber mat or something, just to, soften up the ground so you're not standing on like hard concrete or floorboards or whatever you have, just to soften it up a little bit. Next, we have my chair. So I actually use an office ergonomics chair. It's not a crazy expensive one. Somewhere between like the $300 and $400 Australian mark. So in, I don't know, American dollars, probably about 250 to 300. But ergonomics office chairs are amazing, particularly if you suffer from sore back, shoulders, and stuff like that. Getting a chair that's built for your body is really good. Now, for gaming chairs, I actually do also have a Secret Labs Titan gaming chair. Secret Labs provided me this chair. Oh, by the way, in this video, full disclosure, if I got given an item, I'll tell you, all right? Secret Labs gave me this chair for a charity stream where I gave away, I've given away like 6 or 7 Secret Labs chairs. Out of all the gaming chairs I've ever sat on, Secret Labs are by far the best. The one issue with the Secret Labs Titan chair that I have is my legs are kind of short compared to my torso, and I can't really touch the ground as well as I can with this ergonomics chair. I guess the best way of explaining it is like with the seat bit here at the bottom. On most ergonomics chair, you can slide it back and forth. The Secret Labs chair is fixed. So if you're a bit of a taller person, you'll probably be perfectly fine. I probably could have got the size down of the Secret Labs chair, and it probably would have been fine. But out of all the gaming chairs, I can't recommend it enough. It's definitely super comfortable, very thick cushion. You're not going to wear that one down very quickly, or at least I don't think you will. So yeah, personally, I still recommend, if you're spending 8 to 16 hours a day in front of a computer like I do, sometimes more, ergonomics chair, you can't go wrong. And yeah, that's what I recommend. Now for lighting, in my house, I actually have 4 downlights directly above me, which is just super convenient because like when you want to have a stream set up, you want to have really good lighting. But I also do have 2 Elgato Key Lights. I actually have a third one that I don't use, but I have 2 Elgato Key Lights, which were provided by Elgato. Corsair and Elgato have given me a fair bit of stuff over the years. Now, the Elgato Key Lights are amazing. My biggest issue with them is they always seem to like have issues with connecting to the wireless. But once you do have them set up, they're pretty good. And they're kind of like really fancy for what you pay for. But you can buy cheaper stuff. My initial lighting was, I think, $20 or $30 off eBay, and it works really well. So it's up to you. If you got the extra money and you want to have really professional looking lighting, you can go through the Elgato path or buy some really professional lighting. If you're going to be using a camera, you want to have good lighting. All right, it's just one of those things. Good lighting is very important. And Elgato does have different types of key lights now. So they've got the smaller square one that you don't have to mount it to a desk. Now moving over to the cameras. So the first one I'm using, and the one that you're actually seeing right now, is the Sony A6100, and I'm just using the kit lens on that. I didn't actually step up to a professional camera for a long time. Probably the first 2 years of content creation, I didn't even consider doing it. So I started doing more vlogging stuff and wanted to record stuff outside the house, and I have a 6400 for that. And then I tried it out with the Stream, and I said, this looks amazing. It's like night and day difference compared to most of your webcams. So I said, all right, I want to try and get one. And I bought a 6100. It was fairly cheap. I know like it's still a lot of money that is spending on computer gear and stuff, but I think it was around $1,000, including the kit lens. And all you needed after that was really just a capture card to plug that in. I will talk about my second camera before I get to the capture card. So the second camera I use is a Logitech Stream Cam. This one's it's probably one of the higher quality webcams that you can buy, and it does come across quite good if you set it up correctly. Both cameras will do the job quite well if you have them set up correctly. It's got some really cool features on it, but I really just use it as a bit of a dog cam, mouse cam now, just as a bit of fun. And just I actually have it just here, literally right here. I can reach it and I can just point it around the room if I want to just show people stuff inside the room. Oh, and that Logitech Stream Cam was provided by Logitech. Moving on to capture cards. Now, the capture cards I have, the capture card 4K 60 Pro. That's the main one I use in my gaming PC. That one I bought myself, and that's plugged directly into my computer. I don't usually have too many issues with this, but of recent I feel like it's overheating. I have used this a lot though, and you do kind of need to have a capture card if you're running a 2 PC setup. I don't actually run a 2 PC setup. I use a single PC setup, and I'll explain why when I get to the computer section of this. But the 4K 60 Pro is quite good. I think there is a newer version out now, and hopefully that runs a little bit cooler, because if I am using it, I touch it with my hand, it literally can burn your hand. It runs that hot. It can't be good for it. The next one I do have is an Elgato USB Cam Link. Now, this one was provided by Elgato, and I have one in each computer, so therefore I can quickly switch computers with my A6100 when I want to, depending on how I'm doing my recordings. So I actually record some stuff on a second computer on a separate recording, or some recording my gameplay and voice on my main computer, and that it makes it so you can do zooms on stuff a lot better, and that it works really well for YouTube content. Now, something I don't actually have set up at the moment, besides on the actual A6100, is I'm using Elgato's boom arms, and they're just the same desk mounts for the key lights. You can also have like these other extensions and stuff. These were all provided by Elgato, and they're not overly cheap, but you can do so much with them. I actually asked for like a heap of them. They gave me like 3 or 4, so I'm really, really happy about that. They're not cheap. I'm sure there's other brands that have finally like caught up with how good some of this stuff can be, because when Elgato brought these out, no one else had anything like them. And honestly, you can put them on the desk anywhere you want. You can have the booms coming in from any direction. You can hold microphones on them. You can hold cameras on them, lights, whatever you want. If it's got the same fitting as a camera, you can put it on this. So works really well. And yeah, I recommend them. They're not, all this stuff isn't cheap, but if you can get your hands on them, even at secondhand or something like that, they're not really the kind of things that are going to break if you buy them secondhand. So personally, they're good to go. Now, moving on to the monitors. So now I use 6 monitors, all right? 4 on my main setup, and then 2 on my second computer. So it's a little bit overwhelming when people see this and go, why the hell do you need 6 monitors? And I'll explain now. So for starters, my main gaming monitor is the Acer Predator XB271HU. This is an IPS panel, runs at 165 Hertz. It looks amazing. It's literally the best monitor I have ever had. And before having this monitor, I was like, oh, you know, do I really want to get an expensive monitor? The second I started using this, I can't go back. I cannot go back to a 60 Hertz TN panel or something like that. The brightness that this monitor puts out it's so bright no matter where you're looking at the monitor. It's clear, it looks great. And when I'm playing, like say, for example, Escape from Tarkov, and people were like, how can you see stuff? It's like the monitor just is bright. It just looks bright. So yeah, I guess other people can't see stuff because it looks darker on their monitors, but we're on the IPS Acer Predator. It's amazing. There is a newer version of this that's out now, but I don't really want to waste money. I spend a lot of money on this kind of stuff because I'm passionate about it, but I'm not going to waste money. So the XB271HU, I have 3 of them. The reason why I have 3, now this is so stupid, I actually have 4. All right. I have one here in Australia before I went to Europe. Then I moved to Europe and I said, all right, I want to have the same monitor when I get to Europe. So I bought one. and it was waiting for me when I got to Europe. So then I'm in Europe, and I used that one whilst in Europe, and I had some other monitors over there. Then I was like, all right, cool. Now it's time for me to head back to Australia, and we shipped all our stuff via freight back to Australia. Now, because of COVID, we had to go into quarantine when we got back to Australia, and I needed a monitor for whilst I was in quarantine, because I was hoping to be able to work from the hotel, which I was able to. So I streamed from the actual hotel in quarantine for 2 weeks. Now, when I was in the hotel, I wanted to have the same monitor. So I actually bought 2 monitors of that to meet me at the hotel. So then that way I could, because they actually can go vertical as well. And there wasn't really any good monitors that you didn't have to buy a separate mount for that could go vertical. It was like literally a couple $100 different. And I was like, well, it's such an amazing monitor. I can always give one to a friend as a birthday present or something like that. So I bought 2, and it was waiting for me in Perth when I flew into Perth. And so therefore now I have 4 of them. One of them's just still sitting in the box. Looks pretty much brand new. And I'll probably give that to a friend or something as a Christmas present. I don't know. It's just a great monitor. I don't really need them for what I do, besides the main one, of course. But yeah, I have 3 165 Hz monitors at the moment. All right, so main monitor for gaming. Of course, that's what I use it for. On the left-hand side, this is my chat. 99% of the time, if I'm streaming on Twitch, that's where my chat is, and I use that to be able to talk to chat. On the right-hand side, I have OBS down the bottom and my alerts up the top. So that is pretty much my main, in my peripheral vision, that's where I see absolutely everything. And then I have the extra Acer monitor. This one's the cheapo one, TN panel. This really shits me because you have to look at it on the right angle to be able to see it clearly. And this is why the IPS panel works so much better. But that's just for Discord. I have my moderators talking to me and like other messages coming through. So I leave my mod chat open on Discord so if there's anything going on. So during my live stream, that's everything I see. The 2 monitors on the left, these are the Benq monitors. I had these ones in Europe with me, and they were my monitors in Europe. I had them on a vertical, as a vertical thing. Now, these 2 monitors are purely there for the recording PC. The way I use the recording PC is it will have OBS open, and I'm actually going to make it that there's going to be a calendar for my weekly activities, sponsored streams, everything I've got, meetings, all that good stuff. I'm going to have a calendar up there 24/7. That way I don't miss anything. I'm not late to anything, because I'm not really usually late, but I just want to make sure I'm, always not missing anything. I'm always on top of stuff. So I like to be like that. So that's the reason those 2 monitors there. They're off 99% of the time. I don't really use them for anything else besides when I'm recording using that computer. Now, with these monitors, I don't actually have any of them on the desk besides the 2 on the left, because I just couldn't get, I ran out of mounts. But every single one of these monitors is mounted to the back of the desk with a boom arm. Now, unfortunately, there's no boom arms I could find or I didn't already own that would reach far enough. And they're actually, because this desk wasn't the same desk I had before Europe, this desk is slightly bigger and the monitors are just a little bit too far away for me. So perfect world scenario, I would actually move some of these monitors a little bit closer. But I have nothing on my desk at all. I can literally like put my arms out forward and run straight out like that, besides the boom arm of my microphone. So I can actually get, have nothing on my desk, and it's nice and clean, and I feel less cluttered because of that. And literally I just have the stuff that I need to do to stream and make content. I don't have to worry about that sort of stuff. Now, moving on to the next things. So the keyboard that I use a Corsair K95 keyboard. It's a really great keyboard. I haven't had any complaints about it. Actually, there's one complaint. It's not good for moving with. I've broke another one of these keyboards. I bought a second one when I got to Europe, because the pad where you put your wrist on, or your palm of your hand on, there's a plastic clip that holds it to the keyboard, and that snapped whilst in transit to Europe. So that's my only complaint. Besides that, it's a really great keyboard. It's a little bit more expensive, but you can do a lot with it. It's also silent. You don't have all the big mechanical noises that I used to have, I think, with the old Razer that I had like a long time ago. Next up, my mouse. I've used a lot of different miceies over the time, but so far this has been my favorite. I probably would switch to a different one, and I know which one it is, but for now, I'm using the Logitech G903. I bought this myself. The keyboard I was actually given by Corsair, the first one at least. The second one I bought myself. But the Logitech G903, really great keyboard. Now, the G903, the 703, I think it is, and the wireless G Pro or something like that, they all actually use the same laser and everything inside. It's just the weight and the shape and how many buttons it has on it that is the difference. And I actually like a smaller mouse usually, but this one's actually been really great. So I would probably switch to the G Pro Wireless or G Wireless Pro. That's probably the only like change I would have out of all the like peripherals I have right now. But this one's still pretty good. I actually really enjoy it. So I don't have any complaints about it. I just feel like it's just slightly too big for my hand. Now, if you want to know about like sensitivities and stuff, I don't know. I put this on the when it looks like that, it's like from the left, the two beam things. I think it's like 800 DPI, 600 DPI. To be honest, guys, it's all personal preference. Go to an aim labs game and work out how to do it, because like practice your aiming that way. Don't copy your streamer or content creators sensitivity. It's not going to mean much, really. You have to practice it yourself. Now, keyboard and mouse for the second computer. I actually use this one right here. It's run right here, and also this other Logitech mouse. It's a little tiny mouse, and for this one, it was like $40 for both of them combined. They're just wireless Bluetooth mouses, keyboard, and it's just cheapo. If you just got a second computer, guys, don't have to buy real fancy stuff. Just buy the cheapo stuff that does the job. I've never charged that stuff, and they've been using it for over a year. So it does the job, and I'm not spamming on it. I'm not working on it all day, so no point wasting your money spending a lot of money on that stuff. Next, we have my headphones. Now, these are my headphones. I love them. These are a present to myself, and I would highly recommend buying them if you have the money to splurge. Now, a lot of people go, do you recommend buying these, your headphones? Now, they're the Beyerdynamic DT1990 Pros. They're a proper stereo pair of headsets, and you need to plug them into an amp or a DAC or some sort of powering device to make them sound at how they should. And they're just a really, really high quality headphones. They do come with spare like comforter things. I don't know what you call it exactly. And there's two different types. And I'll put the second pair in, but apparently they're better for gaming. So with these headphones, when you have a movie on or something like that, or listening to music, it is incredible. It sounds amazing. However, they're not cheap. It's like $500 or $600 US to buy them. They were present to myself. I had a really hard working month where I streamed like 250 hours, and I was like, I want to buy something for myself. This is a treat. And I went from the Corsair Virtuoso headset to this one. Now, the Corsair Virtuoso headset, I was given by Corsair to try out, and it was a good headset. It was a little bit too bassy for me, but besides that, it was fine. I think some people have complaints about that. If their head's too big, it's too tight on their head. But I didn't really have that issue at all. Even though I do have a slightly bigger head, I have like a size 58 hat. I don't know if you guys know what that means or not. So yeah, I didn't mind that at all. It was a really good high quality wireless headset for gaming. And I think Mizkif and a few other people I've seen wearing them, but obviously most of these people are sponsored, so take it all with a grain of salt. I haven't got any sponsorships at the moment. Not that I'm looking for them or I am looking for them, but you know what I mean. I want to have the perfect fit. But that's not what the point of this video is. It's about telling you guys what I use and why I use it and if I like it or not. Next, I have the Stream Deck XL. This was given to me by Elgato. The first one I had, which was the smaller one, I bought that myself, and then Elgato gave me like a full package of everything. So you could tell that there's been a fair bit of Elgato stuff here. The Stream Deck XL, you can do the exact same stuff with the smaller one. It's just if you want to have more scenes and buttons on the main screen. And you can put folders on it to go into the back folders. And what it does is it just switches your scenes on OBS, and it can do other stuff like, I don't know, play alerts or sound clips or video clips or disable your alerts, mute your alerts. You can do lots of cool stuff. So if you're into content creation, it's a great little tool. Not required. You can actually do stuff with like keybinds on your keyboard to get around that if you really wanted to. But to be honest, if you are going to spend a lot of time streaming, I pretty much know every single person has one these days. Either that or maybe a competitor brand if there's one out there. I would probably just buy the standard size one unless you're really into your scenes. Like you're popping scenes out left, right, and center, and you want to have as many things up on the screen as possible, then yeah, sure, you might maybe have that one up. Have the XL, but you can get away quite easily with just the standard size one. Next, I have my Go XLR. Now, I was a little bit off didn't want to use the Go XLR because of multiple reasons. The first one being they're not powerful enough to power my headphones, and it doesn't have the right jack exactly for my headphones. The Go XLR is a fairly great tool. It's really fun to use. You can use the smaller version or the large version. I have the large version, and it's really, really good setup for content creation and streaming. So you can control different audios, like your music, your game. You can have it that you can't hear stuff, but the chat can, and all that stuff. Really great tool. You can have voice effects. It's literally a massive tool for sound, for your content creation. Probably the downsides to it is fairly expensive for what it does, but it is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, some of the sound effects you can do and that, it is pretty cool. I actually have a fairly good relationship with Rode. You're about to hear a lot of stuff about Rode. And they've given me a heap of stuff in the past. They've also given me one of their Rodecaster Pros, which is like they're pretty much the Go XLR version for them, which is used for podcasting. And they said, can you just give me some information on what you think about this? And I set it up, I tried to use it, and it was amazing, but it had some issues. And the issues were pretty much stuff that it was really great for podcasting, but not really for streaming. And with some firmware updates, I had a meeting with them. I told them all the stuff that I would like on the Rodecaster Pro to make it usable for me to use for streaming. And all of it was just like firmware updates that they can do. So hopefully they take the advice. They're an Australian company, a really great company, and they love hearing the feedback. So if they can do the changes that that I recommended, I would probably switch to that. Just because of it was a really good setup. It had a lot of it's like 10 times the amount of stuff you can plug into it. It's just got all the extra little features that I would like from the Go XLR, but it's missing some of the crucial stuff to be able to do streaming. Now on the desk, you probably saw this massive mouse pad. I love this mouse pad. I used to use a Corsair super large one. Can't remember the name of it. Everyone said they had the same one. And then I went and bought this Nitro Concepts desk mat. My wife has another one that's slightly smaller, but this is the 1600 by 800, and I've pretty much tried to get it to cover my entire desk. This is the biggest they had, but I was hoping they'd have a bigger one that could cover the entire desk. But this one's really sweet. It's just like a clean blank mat. The only issue I have with these mats is I think these ones are like 2.5 mil or 2 mil or 3.5 mil thick. And Corsair has this 5 mil thick one. I'm confident it was 5 mil thick. And it kind of feels like it's a little bit more cushioning on your wrist than that when you're playing games all day. But I haven't really got any complaints about this. This one still feels quite good. Really great mat. Next up, my microphone, the one you're hearing me talk through right now. This is a Rode Procaster, given to me by Rode. Same with the boom arm. It's a Rode boom arm. I can't remember the name of it. Really good quality microphone. You do need to plug it into something to power it. You can't just have it. It's not like a USB microphone, but it's really high quality, and I don't have a single complaint about it. Personal preference, I did use Audio Technica a lot before using the Rode stuff. Rode did give me a heap of gear to upgrade my gear from the Audio Technica stuff. I probably would have stuck with Audio Technica if their headphones didn't like keep breaking on me. But I had like multiple pair of Audio Technica headphones that broke on me, as in physically broke. So then I stopped using Audio Technica completely because I got sick of putting stuff back through warranties. So I now use other brands just because just want to. Now the green screen that I use is the Elgato collapsible green screen. This is the one that goes on the ground. You can pack it away, or you can pull it up and down. There is an actual new one where you can mount to the ceiling or the wall, which is a lot wider. The issue with the Elgato green screen that I have right now is it's just a little bit narrow. So with this camera, I can zoom in the camera to have it incorporated like in inside really easily. But when I used to use the old either the Stream Cam or the old Logitech C922, which I had, I would have to like narrow in the field of view within OBS to be able to keep me in frame without having the outside of the green screen. Otherwise, I'd have to have the green screen right up to the desk, right up behind me. You felt really claustrophobic. So it's kind of good where it is now because with this new camera. But personally, unless you want to buy two, you can get away with just using a $30 like green sheet, which is what I started with. I just went on eBay. It was like $40. It came with like all the outside frames with the clips and all that, and that worked perfectly. So it's up to you. I just like this one because I can pack it away and be able to walk around the room without having this big green screen in the middle of the room. So personal preference, great to have, really expensive though. So that's probably the downside to it. All right, up to my gaming PC. So I bought this computer about a year and a half, 2 years ago now. And this was my dream computer. Some parts were given to me by either Corsair or Gigabyte, but overall, this was my dream PC at the time. And obviously there's better stuff out now, but I still really enjoy it. So my gaming PC is a i9-9900K, and I have a Corsair Hydro Series H150i all-in-one cooler on that 9900K. I don't overclock it. I have the capability to do that. I just don't really want to. My room is already hot enough as it is with all the computer stuff I have in here. And yeah, no real want to overclock, but I probably could if I wanted to. The motherboard was provided to me by Gigabyte. It's the Gigabyte Z390 Aorus extreme motherboard or something like that. It was like a really expensive overclocking motherboard. It had some really cool features that I wanted to try out, and I've never had a really expensive motherboard. So I hit up Gigabyte and said, would you be interested in being a part of a stream setup video that I did a couple of years back? And they said, sure, we'll give you a motherboard. And I said, sweet. And they gave me the motherboard that I asked for. So really happy with that. Graphics card, I have the Gigabyte 2080 Ti. I bought this one myself. It's the Extreme Edition. Now, I have a bone to pick with a lot of graphics card manufacturers out there. I've actually found this issue be quite common with the 2080 series or the 2080 Ti's, where the thermal paste on the graphics card kind of just disintegrates. And I was so petrified of doing this. My graphics card sounded like a V8 engine, just like revving up and down. And it was just really frustrating. It kept, it's almost like frame locking as well because it was overheating. And everyone was like, it's your thermal paste on your graphics card. And I was like, I didn't want to void my warranty, and I bit the bullet. I bought some really good thermal paste and the cleaner for it. I pulled apart the graphics card, and lo and behold, on top of the graphics card, or where the chip is that's meant to have thermal paste, you could probably see about, I'm not even joking, about 15% of the actual place, like the part, covered in thermal paste. The rest of it was just clear. And I know Grimm's had the same issue, and a lot of other people have had the same issue with their 2080 Ti's not having enough thermal paste applied, or just a bad quality thermal paste applied. After cleaning this up, put the new thermal paste on, good to go. Haven't had a single issue with this graphics card since. Would I upgrade to a 3090? I really want to. I'm not going to lie. I would love to upgrade to a 3090. However, in Australia, they're like $3,500 to $4,000. And I just can't justify spending that much money when I already have a 2080 Ti. Like, it's a great graphics card. It'd be sick to have a 3090. They look amazing. But maybe I could do it like a test. Maybe someone wants to send me a test one and I'll try it out one day, and maybe I'll, like, I don't know, meet them halfway or something. I like to pay for my parts when they're that expensive, but oh my God, they just look so good. Anyway, moving on. RAM. I use the Corsair Dominator 64 gig 3000 megahertz RAM. I have the same in my other computer as well. The reason why I had 64 gig of RAM is of my, I used to do all my editing. My first 500 videos on my YouTube channel, I did the editing. Now I have Britt and Frankie as my editors. So I don't have to do that stuff anymore. But 64 gig of RAM as an editor is great. If you're not editing, I just recommend getting 32 gig of RAM if you're a content creator and streamer. Just because you will leave your computer on for long periods of time. You will be having a lot of stuff running in the background, and you don't want to be bottlenecking yourself with your RAM, because it can be really frustrating when that happens. The particularly with games like Escape from Tarkov and any RAM hungry games. So yeah, 64 gig of RAM is great for that. I'd never have any issues when it comes to RAM. Now with hard drives, I actually have 5 hard drives in my gaming PC, and then I have a couple in my second computer. I have a 500 gig. I'm pretty sure they're all Samsung 970 Pros or 970 Evos. I've just recently pretty much upgraded all of them. I use M2 drives. Now, if you use M2 drives, you're going to never want to go back, because the loading time for loading up Windows is like literally 10 seconds. Loading up games, it feels like instant. Nothing beats them. The read and write speed of these drives is insane, and it's just great to be using them. So I have a 500 gigabyte, and that purely just runs Windows and any application that I install on the computer that's not a game. That 500 gig works for Windows. I have a 1 terabyte, and that is for all my games. And that is, yeah, literally any game that I want, I put that on the 1 terabyte hard drive. And then I have a 2 terabyte, and this is where they start getting really expensive. I have the 2 terabyte, and that is there for recording anything from OBS. So it's a little bit overkill, but I just don't want to have any drops in performance in the recording. I've had issues in the past where hard drives couldn't keep up with the bitrate I was recording at and stuff like that. So now I record everything to a 2 terabyte hard drive, and it just makes it easier when I'm moving stuff off to different locations on another hard drives. I'm not throttling that hard drive at all. It can run at full speed, and I don't have to worry about it affecting me either streaming or anything like that. So great hard drives there. For hard drives number 4 and 5, these are purely backup hard drives. I don't actually use these for anything else for backups. They're your SATA archive Seagate drives. I have 2 8 terabyte ones. I've actually had these for a very long time. Back when I used to, like, you know, I don't know, download heaps of random stuff. And before, like, solid state drives were a major thing. Seagate released like an archive range, and they were just great hard drives. So I've got 2 8 terabytes in this computer, and they're purely there as a backup. I've got I back up everything online these days, but they're there as storage for more recent stuff. So I upload stuff for the editors, but I also back it up. So then if for some reason there's an issue with the editor's copy, I still have that backup there until the video is posted on YouTube, and then I can delete it from the backup. Lastly, the case is a Corsair Carbide Series 678C tempered glass case. I'm not like too crazy. I'm like, I need to have the like most shiniest, fancy looking computer. To be honest, I can't even see it. So to me, it's like if it's a nice clean case, I'm happy, and that's what this case is. So yeah, and Corsair provided me this case. So there you go. Part of all the stream setup video I did about just under 2 years ago. So that is that. Now the second computer, this computer I built very early on in my streaming career. It was about it would have been within the first 9 months. Chat pretty much bought it for me. We had a donation goal. We raised it, and I bought this computer. Now, I can't remember the exact specifics of it. It's got a Threadripper 1950X, if I remember correctly, and just the motherboard that was supported at the time. There wasn't a lot of Threadripper motherboards at that time. I have 64 gig of RAM, Corsair Dominator Platinum RGB, 3000 megahertz RAM in that as well, because this was my editing PC. I used to run a 2-stream PC setup, which I don't anymore, and this was what the computer I had for it, and it's literally been... It's actually had a few homes. My sister's been using it for her YouTube channel and stuff like that. So it's had its work done, and it's been a good computer, but I've got it back now literally as my recording computer. And I have a NVIDIA 2060 in there. This graphics card was given to me by Veritas. He won a competition with NVIDIA where he got to give away, I think, 20 or 30 graphics cards, 2060s, and he gave me one of them. So it was nice of him. Thank you, Veritas. And I use this one in here. So when it comes to graphics cards for streaming, one thing you need to note is if you have a 20 series or a 30 series, it has the most recent gen of rendering encoder, and so you will have a slightly better quality than if you're using a 10 series graphics card or less, so 10 or 9 series. So if you can get a 20 or 30 series graphics card, I think the only exception to this is the 1660, which has also the newer rendering chip thing in there that for encoding. Now that computer has a 500 gig for Windows, a 1 terabyte for the recordings it does, and then it has a 10 terabyte there as a backup, because I bought that 10 terabyte in Europe, didn't know what to do with it when I got back, so now I just have it there as a backup on in that computer. So I covered a lot in this video. Hopefully you guys have an understanding of everything that I'm using, why I use it, if I enjoy it or not, and there's a lot obviously involved in my setup. It takes me about 3 to 4 hours to fully set it up and have all the monitors sitting right and everything looking good. It's a pretty time intensive thing to do, but once I have it all set up, yeah, I feel very comfortable using it. I know it might seem like there's a lot of money spent here, but you also do need to understand that I spend, I'm going to round it down. I spend a minimum 280 hours a month here in this chair. Right, I do on average about 200 hours of streaming a month. I've done a little bit less recently, and then I do all my recordings for YouTube and stuff like that on top, administration, etc., etc. There's a lot of hours I put in this chair, and thanks to the support from the community that we've raised together, I've been able to afford to buy this stuff. So it's important to me that I'm comfortable, and at the end of the day, it's a tax write-off. So if I could recommend anything to you guys, if you are getting into content creation world, and you want to go and buy a heap of stuff, probably if you're going to buy anything first, the microphone is more important than the video camera. Don't even have a webcam initially if you want, but a microphone is the most important thing, because you want to be able to be heard clearly from the recordings, all right? So spend the money on the microphone, and you can slowly build up the rest from there. But if you have bad audio, nothing will detract someone from a video faster than bad audio. So make sure your audio is on point. Besides that, guys, I literally did upgrade this bit by bit over time to the point where it is now. It wasn't just something like, oh, here's $10,000, bam, and just buy all this stuff. I've literally bought bits and pieces and stuff over the last 3.5 years to get to the point where it is now. It's a really, really incredible setup, and I'm really happy to have it. But yeah, don't go out and spending $10,000 on a setup and then being like, all right, now I'm going to make it in the content creation world, because it literally is just like having a fast car and going into a race and expecting to win it, even though everyone else is professional drivers, right? You've got to build up your skill set and your knowledge to be able to get to that point. Anyway, that's enough from this video. It's a fairly long video, but I wanted to make sure you guys could hear and see everything and understand why I have everything how it is. And then that way, hopefully you will learn a lot from it. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer as many as possible. I'm putting affiliate links down the bottom, hopefully, so you guys can get links directly to the parts in the video. So that way you know exactly what I'm talking about and you can see what they look like and go from there. I don't know if I can find affiliate links where you get paid for. If it does, cool. I haven't done that before, so I'll try and set it up for this video. But besides that, guys, I will try and post more videos to my Pestily Unmasked channel and my Pestily Outdoors channel once it gets rebranded. It's on my to-do list. Just so much going on right now. So, guys, thanks for watching another video. If you did enjoy it, like and comment for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help out a lot and goes a long way in making the discoverability of the videos out there. And subscribe and notification bell to keep up to date for the latest Pestily Unmasked videos. I'm trying my best to publish them when I can. And I do want to get back into doing more of them. So lastly, guys, the next video, I want to do a house tour. I want to show you around an Australian house, I guess, and also my streaming room and how I have it all set up. And then that way you'll get a broader picture of what's going on. I wanted to wait till I had everything back from Europe, which I do now. And now I just need to make the house tidy enough that I can record and not be embarrassed that it's a mess. So guys, lastly, I'll see you next time.